On the remote island of Kaho'olawe, a boulder 12 feet wide sits precariously upon the edge of a steep cliff. On a mission to save it are 4 scientists with a complex plan to carefully bring this boulder back to safety. This is no ordinary large rock. This stone, named Pokaneloa, is one of many similar relics called pohaku. Pohaku are the cornerstones of Hawaiian culture and religion. These sacred stones are found throughout the islands, ranging from tiny to the size of gigantic boulder formations. These stones were a central component to ancient Hawaiian culture, both used practically and spiritual, often said to depict certain mythological figures. One such legend is that of Kahala Opuna. According to legend, she was the daughter of the wind and the rain, a young woman of great beauty. She made her home in these rocks. She was promised to marry a man, but when she refused him, he took her into the woods and killed her. Yet her spirit did not die and instead flew to above the trees to proclaim her fate. Family heard her and found her body, restoring her to life. On campus sits Ka'uio Manoa, a formation of rocks nearby the school's football field and looking out over the Manoa Valley. Most pohaku are associated with a Hawaiian legend, and this one is no exception. Legend says that the rocks were home to Ka'uio Manoa, a young woman of exceptional beauty. It was said that she passed on her beauty to the girls of the Kaweha'o Seminary, which in time became incorporated to what we call Mid-Pacific Institute today. Throughout the scanning process, I learned a great deal both about pohaku and the technology needed to scan the rocks. A majority of Mid-Pac students know Ka'uio Manoa as only the sacred rocks, but because of scanning it, I learned about the cultural significance of them. In doing so, I also learned more about pohaku, which before the start of this project, I mainly thought of as only heiaus. Throughout my research for this project, I learned about the spiritual and practical significance of pohaku in the culture of Hawaii. As this was the first scanning project of the year, I also learned a great deal about the scanning process itself. I learned how to use the technology, both in terms of the scanner itself and the computer programs needed to put together and edit the scan. Although I am still learning the functions of the programs, I now have a rudimentary knowledge of the technology needed for this class. Due to this project, I now have a knowledge of historical preservation and how it works. Historical preservation becomes especially important when a relic is put in danger due to human threats. However, in the case of Pokaneloa, the large pohaku on the island of Kaho'olawe, the threat came from nature itself. Pokaneloa was eventually saved by a team of 5 scientists who were faced with the difficult task of securing the pohaku without damaging the boulder, and succeeded. Pokaneloa not only had a great significance in terms of religion and legend, but was also useful in practicality. It was said to reflect the movement of celestial objects and was used for astronomy. This was one of many practical uses pohaku might once have had. Although its exact purpose is unknown, in many ways this makes the rock all the more fascinating, as scientists and historians must find clues to figure out what it was used for. It is this that makes history all the more fascinating, the fact that it is often a mystery. We must work to preserve and protect pohaku so that historians can work to discover their practical and spiritual significance through clues within the rocks.